Okay, so now we've got a more complex trace table to show you that's taken straight out of an exam paper. So remember, all we're trying to do with a trace table is act like a human, like a computer. So we're trying to read the code and pretend we were the computer and then adapt the data based on what we're getting told to do. So this is our code here. These are our two data sets. So we've got items with 4 positions, 0, 1, 2, and 3. We currently have 12, 25, 12, and 53. And new items being 0, 1, 2, 3, exactly the same positions, but currently that's empty. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow this code through, and then you'll see where we're at. So you can see the first line that's run is items count would be equal to 4. We can see that's already filled out on the trace table. So I don't need to change that because that's been defined for me. Then it would say new items at position 0 is equal to items at position 0, which is there, look, 12. So you can see that's why it's 12 there, because it's new items. New items at position 0. So here would equal 12 because it equal to items at position 0. And then the next one is new items count is equal to 1. Now, you could argue that should have been on the next line down because we know how we should fill in trace tables. You shouldn't ever go backwards, but this was already pre-filled in for me. So we'll leave that for now, but obviously we'll stick with the rule that we always should do about not going backwards to fill things out. So it's telling you there's those 3 pieces of data already in play. So we go to the next line. So it says for loop A, 1 to items count minus 1 more. Items count is currently 4. So that means my loop is going to have to run from 1 to 3 because 4 minus 1. So that's fine. But for now, loop A, I'm going to write 1 because it's the first of those loops. Okay. Then done equals false. So I'll put false in for done there. Look. So done equals false. For loop B, 0 to new items count minus 1. Well, new items count is only 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So I've just got to do for loop B 0. If items in loop A, so loop A is 1. If items 1 is equal to new items loop B, new items loop B is 0. So new items loop B is 12. So if 25 is equal to 12, then, well, it isn't. So I don't do that. So I end the if, I don't do the line underneath. And then I end the for because it's I was going from 0 to 0. Because I end my for loop B, that is. Because look, they're in, see those 2 lines are indented, look. So I'm ending my for. Then I go down to my if because I'm still in the loop A. If done equals false, which it does, then I need to do this. So it says new items count. Well, new items count is 1. So new items at position 1, which is there, equals items loop A. Items loop A. Well, loop A is 1. Items at loop A is 25. So 25 goes in there. So I'm just trying to go through this very systematically, one line at a time, fill it in. At this point, I haven't got a clue what this is doing. I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to be the computer. So then it says new items count equals new items count plus 1. Okay, because I'm going back, I can't fill that line in, remember? Because I need to go back and fill that and move on to the next line. That's how you know when to move on to the next line, when you're asking to fill in something that you've already gone past. So I move to the next line, fill in 2. And then I end my if and I'm back up to the top. So I'm still in loop A, remember, because loop A was running from 1 to 3. So I'm now doing number 2. Done equals false. For loop B, 0 to new items count minus 1. So now I'm going from 0 to 1. So my loop B is going to run twice. If items at loop A, so items loop A is 2. So items 2 is 12. If that is equal to new items loop B, so new items loop B is 0. So it is equal to it. So I changed done to true. So you see I've gone on to the next line. Okay, so now in my if, but now I'm doing the second loop of loop B because it was going from 0 to 1, remember? So loop B then becomes 1. If items at loop A, well, loop A is 2, so items at position 2 is 12, is equal to new items at loop B. Well, new items at loop B is 25, so they're not equal, so I end my if, I end my for. If done equals false, then, well, it doesn't, so I'm going to skip that. And then I go back to the top. I'm on my third instance of loop A now. So I put loop A to 3, done equals false. For loop B, 0 to new items count minus 1, so it's going to go from 0 to 1 again, because new items count, you can see, is 2. If items at loop A is 3, so if items at position 3, which is 53, it is equal to new items at loop B, so new items loop B is 0, so new items loop B is 0 is 12. So 53 is equal to 12, which it isn't, so done doesn't equal true. Then I go back and carry on my loop, because I'm not finished my loop yet. So position 1, if items at loop A 3, which is 53, is equal to new items at loop B, well, loop B is 1, and that's 25, so that's still not true. So I end my if and I end my for. If done equals false, which it doesn't. Oh, sorry, done equals false. It does. Sorry, I'm being an idiot. It's false there. Look, new items at new items count. New items count is 2. So new items at position 2 equals items at position loop A, which is 53. So that goes into new items at position 2. And then we increment new items by 1. And then I end my if. I'm back up to the top. For loop A, 1 to items count minus 1. So items count was 4. So from 1 to 3, which I've done. So I then end my for, and that's me done. Okay, now what we've actually done, if you actually work it out, is that bit of code. It looks like all it's doing is taking a list of items there and removing any duplicates, because the new items, it says 12, 25, 53. So all it's got is it's got rid of the duplicates. Now, that is a way more complex trace table to the simple video I've done, but that is far more like a current A-level example of what you'd face in the exam. Now, you can get them slightly harder. They're not, I wouldn't say hard is probably the wrong word. They're recursive. I'm going to make a different video on one of those. But they're not harder. It's just making sure you have a real good understanding of recursion and stacks to understand how that works. But that's a more complex trace table compared to the other video I've made.